Hey, so finally wrapped up the install on this Ultrasabers Grand Master hilt. The 16mm switch finally came in, so I swapped that out. So here's your Grand Master with the goldish brass blade plug. Your 16mm Neopixel switch. And then the chassis, the Proffie chassis is in here. So to access it, just unscrew the pommel. And then since it's a removable chassis, make sure to just kind of cup your hands like so, knock it a bit, and the chassis would just slide right out. Just pull that like so. So here's your chassis in glitter navy. You've got the 10-pole chassis connector there. It's also indexed, meaning it can only go in, or it can only interface in one orientation. Got your Proffieboard over there. Got your kill switch and the battery holder over here. So we got the spring side for the negative and the protruded side for the positive. It's also marked there, negative and positive. We got our 28mm bass speaker down there. So let's put a battery in this thing. I'm going to be using a 18650 Keep Power battery. So when inserting it, make sure the flat side is towards the negative spring side, the button top of the battery towards the flatter side of the battery holder. And then to turn it on, just flip this kill switch to the right. So to insert the chassis, you can roughly align the Proffie towards the switch like so. So I do have swing on configured there, so I'm not sure if you can see. Inside the hilt, there's a connector there, and there's one kind of a brass rod that sticks out. So you want to align roughly the Proffie on top, line it up with the switch, like so. And then once it goes in there, if it gets stuck over here, just rotate it slightly with your fingernails. And then, so just rotate it so that the brass rod kind of clicks into the chassis. And it should just kind of like fall in there. And you'll know that's the right orientation when it's fully inserted, and when you push along the rim of the chassis down here, don't push against the speaker, but just push the rim of the chassis. You'll feel a little bit of a springiness to it because there are pogo pins, pogo pins in there. So once that's in, screw the pommel back on to lock everything in place. So right now, the 16mm switch, I've styled it so that it mimics the color of the main blade, and also turns on when the blade is on, and turns off when the blade is off. So I'm gonna put a demo blade in here. So removing the blade plug. Just to show, we've got our illuminated Neopixel connector in there. Actually, before I put the demo blade, I'm going to put in the Eco 32-inch blade, just to show that it works. Let me switch over to the shorter demo blade. So inserting the blade, make sure that the contact down here is seated all the way in, and then tighten this blade retention screw up here. So because the Ultrasabers hilt does have a wider emitter compared to the blade, you do want to make sure that this is fairly tight, but don't screw it in all the way because you're going to leave a huge dent in your blade. If you leave a little dent in your blade, like a circular mark, that's normal because it needs to grab, the retention screw needs to grab onto the blade. Got blaster blocks. accents here. So currently I have it configured for swing on as well as twist off. You can also turn on the ignite the blade with the main button there, and then to turn it off you can hold it. So cycling through the fonts. To cycle through the fonts, just do a long click. So basically have it parallel, have the saber parallel with the ground, and then just hold it for a bit and release.
Tell me, is this training?
My training?
I won't make it easy!
Always training, the universe is.
So we have a bit of a bass flare there, but with a green blade.
You did your best. Cal Kestis. Remember, a Jedi
Dark Sith Red Kenobi.
You can see this switch mimics the color of the blade.
I am told it is the dark saber. I'd put that on ice if I were you.
This is the best of. When only a few of us have left.
Anakin.
So looping back to the Anakin film. So there you go. I'm also going to be providing the instructions from Fett's site for the one button, as well as the config file and any other resources that you need to get the saber running. Thank you.